I'm Stephanie Dreyer, the founder of Batch Cooking Club, a weekly plant-based meal prep membership to make your meal times easier. And today we are in the kitchen making Summer Couscous Salad, which is very, very simple. I'm just looking at my notes here to make sure I cover everything I want to tell you today. I'm so excited to be here to you. Special shout out to our members who are tuning in and watching. We love you, our members. We are this salad, so every Wednesday we post a new meal plan with recipes for the week. And we post 4 recipes in the plan, or publish 3 recipes in the plan, and we suggest you do another night for leftovers and another night for takein. So basically your whole week is planned. And this salad is one of the sides that goes with our pesto tofu kebabs this week. And this is a great, very simple salad that you can add to any of your favorites. I'm going to show you, we're going to talk through what's on the recipe, but I'm going to talk to you also about some special things you can add in to make it your own and just kind of spice it up. So I'm going to get started. First thing you need is some couscous. So we have 1.5 cups of couscous in here. Couscous, if you've never worked with couscous before, it's super easy. It's the same parts of water as it is to the couscous. So whatever amount you want to do, we did 1.5 cups of couscous to the broth. I'm using vegetable broth because I just feel it adds more flavor. You could add garlic and spices in there when you cook it. We're actually going to make a vinaigrette that we're going to pour over the salad. So I just cooked it regular with my Imagine No Chicken broth. That's my favorite go-to broth to use. They don't pay me to say that. It's just so flavorful. And another option, I got a question today or yesterday from a member about could they use quinoa. Now the answer is yes, absolutely. Every week we give we update our ingredient substitution guide. So all of our recipes anyway, besides that, come with alternatives for gluten-free, nut-free, and soy-free diets. We even include alternatives for oil-free if you're watching your caloric intake. But we also include an ingredient substitute guide, and it's updated every week so that any ingredient that's in our recipes, it has an option, an alternative. Say you've got picky eaters, or you just don't have that ingredient in the house, or you have an allergy, we have an alternative for you to swap out. So all of our recipes are super customizable, and you don't have to worry about, well, am I gonna like it? What if I don't like this? What if I don't like that? We've got it taken care of. So at 100%, if you wanna use quinoa, you could absolutely do that. If you wanted to use Israeli couscous or a little pasta, you could absolutely do that as well. So what you do to make couscous is you boil the broth with the water first, then you stir in your couscous, cover it, remove it from the heat, and let it sit for 5 minutes, and then we just fluff it up. Here we go right here. And it's just like a little rice. You could even use rice for this. You could use brown rice too, or regular rice, or jasmine rice. It's very, very versatile. Basically, the way I like to cook is to make it my own. So these recipes that we give you, we encourage you to experiment and have fun, and don't feel like you have to stick exactly to the recipe. Be a little intuitive and mix it up whatever you like. So we are gonna add this to our bowl, and I've got some corn in here. I'm keeping it simple today, and I have just drained a can of corn. But I would highly recommend, this is a great meal or salad to put together if you wanna make it a little extra. I told you I was gonna give you some extra tips because we like to do that here. I encourage you, grill up the corn. And I've got the recipe calls for tomatoes, but I also have some peaches in here. Stone fruits would be delicious in this salad. And you could grill these up along with your corn. You could do zucchini, you could do red onion, whatever vegetables you like for the summer, grill them up. You could even do your tomatoes on the grill if you wanted, although we're gonna just keep them fresh today. So there's a few tips for you. So we have our corn right there, and I'm just gonna stir in our couscous. Whoops, I just made a little mess there. It's not a party in the kitchen if you don't make a little mess. All right, so we're gonna put that in there, and I'm just gonna set that aside, and we're gonna make our dressing. So that's out of the way. So for our dressing, super simple. I have got some olive oil in here. And if you're ditching the oil, you can use vegetable broth, that's no problem. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I have a teaspoon of Italian herb seasoning. So this is an example, if you're not sure what that is. That's herbs of Italy. And if you don't have an Italian seasoning blend, you can get it at any grocery store. It's really just a mix of oregano, let's see what they have in here. Oregano, thyme, basil, garlic, black pepper, tarragon, red pepper, and chives. So basically, if you don't have it, just do a little combo of maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon of a blend of those spices that you do have in your cabinet. Super simple. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I'm gonna do a little bit of pepper. My dad always wants a little pepper, so I've gotten used to doing a little pepper in there. And then I have a lemon. This is the secret sauce, if you will. So I have this beautiful lemon because I was gifted with a bounty of lemons. You want one, you know, a nice sized lemon. If you don't have a large one, use 2, and you're gonna zest it and juice it. And then we're just gonna whisk that together, and that's your dressing for the salad. So I use a microplane or a zester, I don't know, whatever you wanna call this. And as I'm zesting here, I'm gonna call out Roberto. Do we have any questions or comments in there?
Not at this time.
Do we have anybody joining this morning that we want to give shout outs to? Any members you see in there?
Gail from Redondo Beach.
Hey Gail, thanks for watching. Good morning. I hope the weather is good by you. It's a little gloomy over by me this morning in Southern California. And Gail is in Redondo Beach, which isn't too far from me, but it's so funny how you can be just like a couple miles from someone and the weather is totally different. All right, so I'm zesting this up. As I'm zesting this up, let me tell you about the rest of the plan this week. So, as I mentioned, we always give you 4 meals in your meal plan for the week. So, we always include one recipe that you double batch and use it in 2 different ways. So you're working harder or working smarter, not harder. So one of those recipes is a lemony pesto arugula pesto. And actually, you can download that recipe free over at our blog at Batch Cooking Club if you're interested in that. And I mentioned we're serving this salad with pesto tofu kebabs. So we're taking that pesto and we're making pesto or tofu kebabs, and we're grilling those up next and serving it over this salad. We also have an heirloom tomato pesto arugula panini. So that is delicious, and it uses heirloom tomatoes, which are so beautiful this time of year. So that's another recipe. And then we also have taco bowls. I am so excited about this recipe. I had so much fun creating this recipe. You make an actual taco bowl shell, so that's really fun. And we use a zesty taco black bean filling, which is also really fun. So I'm going to show you how I do my lemon. And if you've watched cooking classes with me before, you've seen that. I usually use my juicer, but because this lemon is so big, it's not going to fit. So what I do is I cut around the core so that I can pull out the seeds here. This is just a little trick if you hate getting seeds in there. And that way when I squeeze this into my bowl, I'm not going to get the seeds. And then when I squeeze this, I just use my hands to cover it. So here, let me continue with this. So we're going to put the lemon juice in. And then, so the taco bowls, it uses a zesty black bean taco filling, homemade pico de gallo, super yummy. So that's recipe number 3. And then our last recipe, I have to cheat and look. Oh, Caesar salad with lentil mushroom meatballs. These mushrooms are so good and versatile. And it's a fun way to have a main salad, right? So like, I don't know about you, but this time of year, I like to include some hearty, filling yet light, I guess that's kind of an oxymoron, but some main dish salads that feel satisfying but don't weigh you down, right? After like these warm summer days, at least we're having over here in California. So this Caesar salad has a homemade creamy Caesar dairy-free dressing that's delish. And then you pair it with some meatballs and a traditional Caesar salad, and it's really yummy and very hearty and filling. So that's the 4th recipe in the meal plan this week. All right, I'm just gonna zhuzh this up.
We have someone from Washington,
Oh,
Marcia.
Marcia! We got another member. Thanks for joining in, Marcia. And Marcia is the smart member who asked about putting quinoa in the salad today. So she's going to be trying that out. And we were talking about how we want, Marcia, how I encourage you to make it your own and use what you have in the fridge. So that's great. I'm so glad that you asked that. Okay, I'm throwing away my lemon so that I can get to the good stuff over here. Does anybody have any questions, Roberto, before we head into the rest of the salad?
Just a lot of good mornings.
Good morning, everybody. So happy to see your faces here. So happy to have you join us. Okay, so let's see what else do I want to tell you. Look at my cheat sheet here. The rest of this salad comes together super easy, and as I mentioned, all the recipe calls for is some chopped basil, chopped parsley, and some green onions, and some sliced up cherry tomatoes. Like I mentioned, I'm also going to do some peaches because these babies are ripe and I think would be delicious in it. And I say go for it and grill up your favorite vegetables. If you're doing tofu kebabs, like we're doing in the plan, go ahead and grill up some vegetables while you're doing the tofu kebabs, and then you just chop them and toss them in the salad. Super, super easy. I'm also, in addition to these greens here, I'm also showing you some arugula. I love any chance to get greens into my dishes, especially because I have 3 kids who aren't always so excited to eat their greens. So if I can mix them into things with their familiar foods, they love tomatoes, they love avocado, they love peaches, it's a win-win for me. So if you have a favorite summer green, maybe it's spinach, maybe you like chard would be delicious in this, go ahead and toss that in and chop it too. So I guess I'm telling you all this because I want you to have fun and think out of the box and use up what's in your fridge. If you've got arugula that's going bad, throw it in there and make use of it. So that's why I'm showing you that here. So basically all we're going to do is we're going to chop all this up, and then we're going to drizzle on the dressing and give it a whirl, and then it stays for about, how long are we saying that? This will stay fresh for about 3 days in your fridge because you got the tomato in there. Don't put the avocado until you're serving it if you are making this ahead of time. And the way I do basil is I just stack the leaves instead of just chopping it right. Oh, it smells so good, you guys. I love fresh herbs. That's another thing. Any fresh herb would be delicious in here. Tarragon, thyme, oregano, anything you want to put in here fresh would be delicious. But the basil looks so cute. So you saw that I just rolled them up. Roberto's getting the close in. Thank you. And I just slice it up, and then they become ribbons. See that? And that is called chiffonade, everybody. Love to give you a few fun facts. Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle this in my salad here. I'm going to chop up some Italian parsley. Put this another way there so you can see. I'm just chopping this through. All right, so if you are interested in learning more about this menu, you can always check out what we're serving. We drop new menus every Wednesday. And if you go to batchcookingclub.com/this-week, you can see what the menu is for the week. So if you're wondering, not sure if you're gonna like it, you can always check that out. Memberships start at $10 a month, that's it. $100 for the year or $10 for the month. So you can check that out. Like I mentioned, we've got the lemon arugula pesto on the blog this month over at batchcookingclub.com/blog. You can check that out. And if you need a little more convincing, we'll just ask our members, Marcia and Gail, you can chime in the comments if you feel it's worth it, your membership. But if you aren't sure, you're on the fence, we do offer a free 1-week sample plan. So you can go to batchcookingclub.com/free and you can try a sample plan for a week for free. So giving you lots of options there to give us a try. I really believe in our plans and know that they will make your mealtime easier, because our batch cooking plan, in just 2 hours or less, you get a bunch of food prepped for the week so that you've got 4 homemade meals ready to go. I mean, who doesn't want that? I mean, we're stuck home right now. I don't know about everyone else, but I cooked a lot before, but I'm cooking even more now that we're stuck at home, right? We're not ordering out. as much for we're not doing our date nights out anymore. My kids are home for lunch, so I've got lunch to worry about as well. And there's just a lot more cooking going on and more people home. So these plans will help lighten your load, and they will take at least 4 meals off your plate. And most of our, all of our meals make 4 servings, like the soups and the stews and the casseroles usually serve 8 to 10 depending. So sometimes you can even stretch these for leftovers if you've got less than 4 people in your household too. So there's another idea. Okay, I'm gonna chop these babies up. And these are big tomatoes. Thank you to Tony. I know he's not watching, but a shout out to my good friend Tony, my farmer Tony friend, who supplies me with all these delicious tomatoes and lemons and zucchinis. And so since these are big, normally I just say slice your tomatoes, your cherry tomatoes in half. These are kind of big, so I'm gonna do them in quarters because you kind of don't want a huge mouthful of tomato, right? This smells so good already. All the green herbs and the onions. Red onion would be delicious. I know I mentioned you could grill it, but you could also just chop raw red onion in there. And who's pickling this summer? I have been pickling a few things this month, and if you've got any pickled vegetables, that would also be a nice little garnish for the top, I think. So I don't know if anyone's pickling. I've been on my feeds, I've been seeing a lot of bloggers talking a lot about different pickled cucumbers and even green beans. I've seen pickled green beans, which go really good in Bloody Marys, FYI. Okay, let's do some peaches. So these look, that's like so perfect. I think, so I gave this idea to my husband, and I was like, let's grill the peaches. He didn't want me to grill them, so that's all right. Compromise is the spice of marriage, right? But I really think, you guys, if you grill these up, it would just add another level to the salad. Okay. Oh, this smells so good. And I'm just doing everything bite-sized so that you don't bite into a huge chunk of something, but it's manageable. How do you guys deep hate your peaches? Is there a special way you do? I know with an avocado I do it all wrong. You'll see in a second. It's like I'm gonna cut my hand off probably. My dad would cringe. So I'm just, that pit actually came out really easy, which is a good way to know if your peaches are ripe or not. Okay, so this is all ready to go. I'm gonna put a little bit of arugula in there too, because I actually I'm following my own advice. This arugula is a little bit on the about to go bad, so I'm like, not bad, but it's been in there. It's getting near its use state. I'm just gonna give this a little, our dressing. Then we just put our dressing on top. I should have tasted it though. Let me taste it and make sure it doesn't need, always taste your dressing before you dress the salad and see if it needs a little bit more lemon. It's good. Salt, it doesn't need salt. Or pepper. I guess you can always pepper it up later. Like I said, my dad's always on me about adding more pepper. Okay, and that is it, everybody. We're gonna toss it up. And then when you're ready to serve, you are going to slice up your avocado here. And we can do that now just to show you. And you garnish it with your avocado. Again, if you're making this ahead, don't do that until right before you're ready to serve because you don't want brown avocado. And so I recommend serving it with the avocado as a garnish on top, or you can put it on the side. I actually have a dear friend who's allergic to avocado. I always feel so bad for her. She doesn't know what she's missing. I like to put avocado in as many things as possible. So look, here you go. The dressing just perfectly wilts if the greens can wilt a little bit. And look at how beautiful that is. And it smells so good. And again, we're serving this week with our pesto tofu kebabs. And the way our plan works, if you're new to us, we drop new plans on Wednesday that gives you the menu for the following week, right? And then on Saturday or Sunday, we encourage you, we call it Batch Cook Sunday. We are in the kitchens on Sunday. And we give you a batch cooking plan in 2 hours or less to cook and prep for those 4 meals for the week. So then you have everything ready to go and you can get a home cooked meal on the table in less than 30 minutes, sometimes even 10 or 15 during the week. So there you have it. There is your summer couscous salad. I hope you enjoyed that and we'll try this out. Marsha, let us know how it goes with the quinoa. Roberto on the camera, do we have any shout outs or questions we want to get to before we wrap it up?
We only have Marcia is going to be batching today, so I can have this tonight. She says looks awesome, and Gail from Redondo said she's going to try it tonight.
Oh, yum. Okay, well, let me know how it goes. You can always post in the comments. Marsha, if you're cooking this tonight, another tip I don't know if you heard was I suggested grilling up vegetables and chopping them up to put in here. So if you're doing corn, grill the corn, just adds more flavor. If you've got any stone fruit as well or zucchini, I'm all about grilling right now. So there's just a suggestion if you want to take up your salad a notch or two. So there we have it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. You can check our Facebook page under events for our upcoming classes. You can also check it out at batchcookingclub.com/classes for the schedule. We are going to be back next week at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It's just a little bit later next week, but otherwise, same day, same place. I will see you there. Thanks for joining.